الحمد لله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض وجعل الظلمات والنور ثم الذين كفروا بربهم يعدلون. الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق. نعم. So I believe the last class we stopped right before Musa began the issue of the Baqarah, صح? I think so, yeah. So we wanted to take the whole story together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. So we're at the ayah where Allah Ta'ala says, وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُكُمْ أَن تَذْبَحُوا بَقَرَةً قَالُوا أَتَتَّخِذُنَا هُزُوًا قَالَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ أَنْ أَكُونَ مِنَ الْجَاهِلِينَ. And when Musa said to his people, indeed Allah has ordered you to slaughter a cow. And they said, are you making mockery of us? Are you taking this as a joke? And this story is the story of a cow of Bani Israel. It's a very wealthy, stingy man from amongst Bani Israel who had no children. He was older in age. He didn't have a wife. And the only surviving relative he had was his nephew, who was very poor. According to the story, he would only give his nephew a very small stipend. He kept his wealth to himself. And we know that stinginess is from the characteristics, as Allah mentioned, about Bani Israel, that they're stingy people, very tight, miserly people. And they want to amass the wealth for themselves and hoard it from the rest of the world. So, the nephew had two choices. The first choice, of course, is to be patient until his uncle passed away, and then he would inherit all of that wealth. And his uncle was older anyway. Or to be impatient, like we see that happens in many places in the world today, and kill that relative in order to inherit that wealth. He chose the latter. So he killed his uncle in order to inherit his wealth. Well, as they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Greed. So what happened was he killed his uncle and he placed his uncle's body in front of a neighbor's home. And then the body was found in the morning. And as Allah explained in Surah Al-Baqarah, that the punishment for, in Surah Al-Ma'idah and in Surah Al-Baqarah, that the punishment for murder is either a life for a life or blood money. Either a life for a life or blood money. The family of the murder victim chooses, no, you're going to pay us for killing our relative, then that's what it is. If they say no, a life for a life, then that's what it is. And we see from this the justice.
The life for life is the one who killed.
Yeah. The one who killed gets killed. Yeah. The one who committed the murder is executed.
You cannot kill somebody else.
No. Yeah. Jazakallah khair for mentioning that.
They are killing, we have to kill.
No. Yeah. The only one that's allowed to be Jazakallah khair. So as Muhammad Ahmed is saying, no, the life for a life is not with regard to anyone in their family can be killed. Okay, they kill somebody in our family. It's not retaliation. A life for a life means this individual killed a person. He has to die. The murderer has to die. That's what a life for a life means. Jazakallah khair. If anyone gets that confused or misconstrued. So, When the body was found, people screamed, somebody's been killed, somebody's been killed. It spread throughout, okay? So this individual now, he guaranteed his inheritance if he wasn't greedy. So when the body was found and he was going to inherit all of his uncle's wealth, he went a step further. We have to find who this killer is. He's going to pay the blood money of mine. Now he wants to get blood money. And he knows he's the murderer. No, this is not going to happen. We're going to get the blood money. We have to find the killer. So he made his pressure and complaining made the people investigate further. So they went to an investigation to try to find out who killed, to the point that they were about to have a civil war between themselves. They were about to have a civil war between themselves because of this incident. So now they went to Musa, they said, we're trying to investigate a murder. We don't know who did it. Ask your Lord who did it. So they asked Musa to ask Allah, who is the murderer? So Musa made dua to Allah, Allah, the people want to reveal who this murderer is, who is the murderer. Allah said, tell those people to slaughter a cow. And this is what we have now. وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُكُمْ أَن تَذْبَحُوا بَقَرَةً. And when Musa said to his people, Allah has ordered you to slaughter a cow. So they asked for this. Why would you request a service if you don't trust the one who is in your service? Why would you say, and then you're going to doubt his answer? What's the point? And this is very dangerous because the Muslims run into this behavior today. If the person goes to a sheikh, yeah, sheikh, what's the ruling of such and such? If you go to a sheikh, make sure it's somebody you trust. You should not go to someone you don't trust this information, because we don't want to get into fatwa shopping, as we say. The person goes to the sheikh, and the scholar gives him an answer that's not in agreement that it's not the answer they wanted. But I heard, so what did you come to me for? Go to wherever you heard it from, because that's the answer you want. And this is why, from the manners of asking questions, the person must be sincere in questioning and must be asking the question in order to get what Allah and His Messenger said, not what agrees with what they want. May not agree with what you want, but it's from Qur'an and Sunnah, you have to follow. Nah. So this is what they did. So Musa alayhi salam said, Allah ordered you to slaughter a cow. They said, are you making a mockery of us? He said, I seek refuge in Allah to be from amongst the ignorant. So the ulama mentioned this ayah. And remember from the information of your predecessors, what took place between them and Moses, when he informed them about the command of Allah to them that they should slaughter a cow. من البقر, from the cows. فبدلا من المصارعة قالوا مستغ Now, متعنطين. متعنطين is like to go to be extremists. متعنطين. So they said, going to extremes in their behavior, أتجعلنا موضعا. Are you trying to make us a point of mockery? You're trying to make us the butt of your joke? فقال موسى من الذين يكذبون على الله ويستهزئون بالناس. He said, I seek refuge in Allah, that I be from those who lie upon Allah and makes mockery of the people. Okay, this is after so many things happened between them and Musa, crossing the Red Sea, and splitting the Red Sea, and saving them from Pharaoh, and all of this, and still, no matter what he has done, they have no trust in what he says. What about this? What about that? They continue questioning him. So if we see, if this is the way people treat prophets that they saw miracles from, then what about other than prophets? How would they be treated? This is Musa. They believe that he received revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and still they behave this way with him. And like I said before, why? From the benefits of the repetition of the story of Bani Israel over and over and over again in the Quran is to tell us what we should not be doing. Should not be doing. But the Prophet warned us that we would behave like these individuals. We would behave like these individuals. Now, قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما هي. So they said, Musa, ادع لنا ربك. Now they're all in one religion. They're all together. Say to them, call on your Lord. See now, all of our Lord? Call on your Lord. قالوا ادع لنا ربك. They said, call on your Lord. يبين لنا ما هي. To tell us what it is, what cow is. حتى يبين لنا صفة البقرة التي أمرنا بذبحها. To describe the cow that he ordered us to slaughter. قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة لا فارض ولا بكر عوان بين ذلك. That he's saying that the cow should neither be an older, worn-out cow, nor a totally young cow, a calf. It should be between those two extremities. Now do what you have been commanded to do. قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما لونها. So, okay, ask your Lord, what color should it be? This is the mockery. We don't accept this on a human level. On a human level. If a father told one of his children, son or daughter, tell your brother to make me some eggs. He says, go back and tell your father what eggs. Is that respect? It's quite disrespect. He said, okay, tell him boiled eggs. Ask him what color he want the boiled eggs, the brown eggs or the white eggs. And he keeps sending them back and forth. This is what they did. This is what they did. So he said, ask your Lord to tell us what color it is. So the ulama say, call on your Lord and tell us to describe for Ahwan. Now, he had described for us the type of cow. So he said to them, indeed, Allah Ta'ala, he said she should be a cow that is not older in age nor young, but between that. So hurry and do what you have been commanded to do. So they continued in their arguing, وَتَعَنُّتِهِمْ, and their extremism, making things difficult, saying O Musa, قائلين لموسى ادع ربك يبين لنا ما لونها. Calling your Lord until he makes us clear the color. قال له موسى إنه يقول إنها بقرة صفراء فاقع لونها تسر الناظرين. He said it should be a cow that is bright, golden in color, to the point that the people, when they see it, they're amazed by it. Now they've made it difficult. The ulama say the benefits of these verses that we just read. In فوائد الآيات. الحكم المذكور في الآية الأولى لما قبل بعثة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وأما بعد بعثته فإن الدين المرضية عند الله هو الإسلام ولا يقبل غيره كما قال الله تعالى ومن يبتغي غير الإسلام دينا فلن يقبل منه وهو في الآخرة من الخاسرين. That the ruling, those who believe, remember the first I went through those who believe, the Jews, the Christians, and all of that. He said that the ruling that was mentioned in that verse is talking about that those people before the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was sent. As far as after he was sent, then the religion that Allah is pleased with is Islam. And other than Islam will never be accepted, as Allah Ta'ala said, and whoever desires a religion other than Islam, never will it be accepted, and he will be in the hereafter amongst the losers. Nah. The second benefit, قد يعجل الله العقوبة على بعض المعاصي في الدنيا قبل الآخرة لتكون تذكرة يتعظ بها الناس فيحذروا مخالفة أمر الله تعالى. Allah Ta'ala could hasten his punishment for different acts of, or some acts of disobedience in this life before the hereafter. So it would be a reminder and an admonishment for people so that they can beware of opposing the command of Allah. إن من أن من ضيق على نفسه وشدد عليها فيما ورد موسعا في الشريعة قد يعاقب بالتشديد عليه. He said, whoever makes things difficult and goes to extreme in issues in which there are concessions in the legislation, then he could, because of that, it could befall him difficulty. Difficulty could befall him because he made things difficult for himself. Now, and we'll stop at those ayat unless there is something, a statement or question. We'll stop there, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت وأستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.